Hey guys, welcome back to another Skyblock episode on this rainy afternoon. So today the plan is to continue with the honey farm. In the back we can already see the huge 12 by 12 by 12 cube of bee nest blocks we have now. If you go a little bit closer, you can also hear them buzzing. So the other guys kept this farm running, supplied it with a lot of extra bone meal. We didn't build a new skeleton farm, we were just using the mob farm we built at the very beginning of the series. We still have plans to upgrade it eventually, but for now it was good, since we definitely have enough bees now. Okay, so first I obviously need to mine the bee nest blocks, and then I want to relocate those bees into beehives. Since we maybe want to use the bee nest blocks as a decoration somewhere else, they're actually really hard to get, while the beehives are easy to get. One additional problem is that not all of the bee nest blocks are filled with 3 bees. Some of the bees exited the hives immediately once they got created, and well, were killed by the wizards as planned. So it would definitely be beneficial for the actual honey farm later if all the hives are filled with 3 bees for optimal efficiency. So now the plan is to mine all of the bee nest blocks and then make some kind of contraption to make sure we always have 3 bees inside of those blocks. Also, if we have some time left at the end of the episode, we can also start showing some of the progress that the other server members made. So I took a bit of a break from the series, but the server kept going and there's actually a lot of projects that got finished. A lot of farms are already built. So this is something you can maybe do from now on. The end of the episode, maybe show off one of the projects that got finished. Okay, now let's break those bee nest blocks. Obviously we need to start here at the back, so we don't expose the front side to air, which would cause a lot of bees exiting immediately. So if I start breaking them from here, it should be all fine. Oh, I can even instant mine them, but that's not too useful because those are non-stackable, unfortunately. So we always have to put them into chests once the inventory is full. And 2 more. At the same time, I can continue farming some honeycomb here. We'll need a lot of that soon. So that took quite a while. It's raining again, but I got almost all of the beehives. Some fell in the void. I should have maybe placed a couple blocks here on the side, and also some bees escaped. You have to be really careful to always break them in the correct order. But I got most of them, and they're now all stored into chests. You might notice that I don't fill up any chests completely. The reason was that the game actually crashed. So each of those bees that are inside of the bee nests, that are inside of the shulker boxes, has quite some MBT data, and maybe that's the reason why it actually crashed. So I had one doll chest almost completely filled up, and every time I opened it, the game was crashing. I had to break it with the axe and collect the boxes again. Bit of an issue, but yeah, now it should be fine. Alright, next step, let's go to creative and work on that beehive, bee transfer system. In my opinion, the one flaw that the whole bee system in vanilla Minecraft has is that there's no indicator how many bees inside of the bee nest or the beehive. So there's no visual indicator on the block, and you also can't just read out the MBT without any mods. So yeah, we can't really sort them just by looking at the item. So we have to dispense all of the bee nests and then somehow detect once we run out of bees. Okay, so the setup, how I would want to do that is use, of course, the block dispensers, have some bee nests inside, dispense them, and have the bees in a cell. I'm not sure if we can use a pressure plate to detect them. Actually, they might actually deactivate it once they all fly up. Anyway, oh, there we saw it. Okay, probably have to use string instead. Okay, so then I would just use minecarts to pick up all the bees. Then of course use activator rails to eject them again in front of the beehive blocks later. So let's maybe try to come up with a system to detect the bees inside of the cell there. At the moment I'm trying a bit of a different approach. Instead of detecting the bees inside there, I was thinking maybe if I just dispense 3 minecarts that pick up all the potential bees inside, and then detect if I got a bee inside of the minecart, because I noticed the hitbox is just this tiny bit higher than the minecart itself. So the plan would have been to drop the minecart down and it would activate a tripwire. But unfortunately, there's not a perfect block for this. So I would need a 5 pixel high block. I'm not quite sure if there is one in the game. I already tried around quite a bit, turtle eggs, sea pickles and whatnot. Just didn't find it. So I tried also 3 snow layers, then the bee itself wouldn't activate the tripwire hook. If I try 4 snow layers, then the minecart itself already activates the tripwire hook. What you can always do if you don't find the right block height, you can try boats. So this is actually a solution. If you put a minecart on top of a boat, on top of an enchantment table, then the minecart itself doesn't activate the tripwire, but if there's a bee inside, it would. Actually, we can't get enchantment tables in Skyblock because we can't get any diamonds, but we could also just use 7 snow layers instead. Okay, for testing, this will do. And no, it doesn't work. Tested this earlier. It's a bit odd. Let's try this again. Come on. Yeah, now it works. But yeah, that's what I also noticed earlier. It flickers actually. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the hitbox. It doesn't display it moving, but it seems like a bee is floating up and down, which activates the tripwire hook. And then, yeah, releases it again. Not quite sure if we can use it. So we're a bit ahead in the development. I had some help from Methods with some fresh new ideas. There's actually a way how you can detect the bee in the minecart easily. You can use a golden pressure plate. So if there's 2 entities on top of the golden pressure plate, the signal strength would be 2. In case you only have the minecart, the signal strength is only 1. So next we have to work on getting the bee into the beehive, and it's gonna be quite tricky if you wanna have that all in one contraption, because we need to position the bee on top of the golden pressure plate, but at the same time it should have access to a flower and should be within reach of the beehive. Access to the flower is kind of helpful because that causes it to enter the hive quicker. So as soon as the bee has pollinated, it tries to go back. While if you would position the bee in front of the hive, it usually takes around 2 minutes until it finally enters. So I think we figured it out yesterday, how to do that. We align the minecart first against the trapdoors here, then we push the bee out using a 1-tick pulse and a chest in front to move it a bit less than half a block. And now it should have access to the flower while still being in range of the beehive and still standing on top of the pressure plate. So as soon as the signal strength would go down, we could send the minecart off. We probably have to use a double piston extender here to push the minecart off without breaking the flower. Technically, with our block places in Skyblock, you could also break the flower and place it again, but it seems easier just to use a double piston extender. And it seems like the bee doesn't pollinate though. Maybe this is still not quite right. Usually it should take about 20 seconds until the bee has pollen. No, I think we have to fiddle around a bit more with this. Maybe I was judging that too quickly. I think it's actually fine. So let's push the bee out once again. Let's do a tick warp for 20 seconds. I think as soon as the bee has pollen, it immediately enters the beehive actually. Yes. Alright, so within 20 seconds, the bee is gone, and then we can push out the minecart. We can also do a direct comparison without a flower, see how long it takes there. So I'm gonna tick warp again for 20 seconds. And the bee doesn't enter. Tick warp was completed, bee doesn't enter. So the flower is really helpful and it's definitely beneficial if you try to get that going. Alright, we're getting there. So I automated most of the beehive system. Let's pick up a bee. Gets automatically aligned. Then it takes the 20 seconds most of the time until the bee would enter the hive. And then we automatically push off the minecart. This also works, by the way, with empty minecarts, since it's not guaranteed to have a bee inside. So in this case, it doesn't take long until we push the minecart off. And it's finally finished. Added all the redstone now, which is mostly more counters. So every time we get a bee in there, we're gonna dispense a new beehive and push down. And every third time we got a minecart leaving, we also dispense a new bee nest in there. So I was already testing it. A bee nest with 2 bees inside and a bee nest with 3 inside in there, and it worked fine. Unfortunately, there is no way to break the bee nest somehow automatically. You need silk touch for it. So I really want to keep the bee nest blocks. So that's why we got another piston set up here. So yeah, you can store the bee nest blocks. And of course the same for the beehives as well. And in the case of the beehives, we also need some kind of a protection from so the bees can't exit. They are just gonna place blocks again. Technically, you could automate it, like you could put down some dispenser here at the top to dispense sand or whatever, but we're probably just gonna do that once. It's probably less work to actually just place it down and build some kind of automation system for that. Especially since we don't know how far we push out the sand, so we couldn't even break it easily. That's not overcomplicated, since that's actually already quite a lot. It took me a couple of hours to design this actually. And back in survival we can start building, but we also need a lot of honeycomb first, in order to craft the beehives of course. Each beehive requires 3 honeycomb, and I think we got like 2 or 3 stacks at the moment. So I'm gonna switch out the glass bottles and the dispensers here. You have the shears, and then the farm should work the same just for honeycomb. Big progress update, we got all the honeycomb now. This has been running for a while, and the farm has also been built up during a live stream and also started up directly. This has also been running successfully quite a while, but we have an issue now. As you can see, there are bee nest blocks sticking out. I totally forgot in creative already to put in redstone here in the back to power the pistons to push out the bee nest blocks. So pretty much everything got stuck, and we lost around 200 bee nest blocks as well, because it just got dispensed and we lost or despawned over time. Quite a shame. I'm gonna try to fix the piston setup here, and luckily I did not put in all the bee nests, so we still have a lot left, and then start up the farm again. Hopefully this was just a little setback, so who cares. I'm gonna activate the dispenser here, dispense a bee nest block, and then quickly turn on the minecart system there. So just need to punch out the slime block here. Okay, should have bees. Now we turn on the minecarts. And there we go. They're getting picked up. Right, let's actually spend a couple minutes, see if this farm is working. So is there any spot we can properly observe it? Not really. Maybe we'll try it from the scaffolding over here. Yeah, I guess that's a nice view of it. Okay, so the bees are getting collected, and they're put here in the middle of the blocks and should go into the beehive. So this was already working. We actually already have a lot of beehives over there that were properly filled up with 3 bees. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit and see if it's working. And we're back after a couple of days. This time it worked. And here's the good stuff now. All of those hives are filled up with 3 bees each. Right. Let's also check the bee nest blocks. Okay. This time they got pushed forward properly. Sweet. We can now mine those and use them for maybe some kind of decoration at some point. Okay, only thing left to do is I need to turn off the system here. So the switch was here. And now it stopped. Perfect. Alright, to end the episode, we're gonna show off a community project. Cubic Meter will explain it. Alright, so this is gonna be an auto crafting system.
Yeah, so I designed a general auto crafter using a cyclical system similar to the one that's in the dirt farm, but this one is specifically designed for general auto crafting, which is crafting any item that you need. So you can handle any recipe.
Alright, so just send a minecart over here, so this is used so we can transport a lot of items from the main storage to the crafting system here. Okay.
Oh, where's the minecart?
Oh.
Oh, it's at the bottom of the elevator.
Hmm. Get stuck? Oh yeah, that is.
Oh, I think somebody might have accidentally removed some water.
Oof.
Yeah, I think somebody
Got
might
stuck
have
there.
accidentally punched out.
Should I just take
Yeah,
the
the
shulker
elevators.
boxes for now?
Yep.
Oh.
Alright, somebody's obviously
I
punched
think it.
punched out some water.
Where is it? Oh, I think I put. Yeah, sent back to the nether. I'll try to get it. Sumo Void's
That
favorite
doesn't
hole.
matter.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's a hole to avoid.
Okay. Oh no, it's going back. Okay. I think I got it. It's empty? Is it a different minecart?
Yeah, I took.
Oh, you took it.
No, I took the stuff out.
Okay, I'm just gonna break the minecart then. Okay. Yep. Alright. So back at the crafting system, now it's actually time to load it. So instructions are here at the top, I guess. I also brought over the planks, I'm gonna fill it in. So we're gonna craft pistons. Birch planks, for the top.
That's just the yield selection. So like, if you're crafting multiple items per operation, it just keeps the precision loaders, basically manages the precision loaders to make sure that you're always getting right amount of boxes at the output. So instead of having like 50 partially filled boxes, you'll have as many full boxes as possible.
That's nice, yeah.
Right, so
Okay.
once you've checked the recipe, unlock these levers. And if you hear the sound of the shulker boxes being placed, then you know that's working. Once the shulker boxes are in place, hit the button, and it will actually initiate a startup sequence. So it will start by unlocking each slot sequence and times it perfectly with the movement of the blockchain so that the first item is always put into the first slot, second item is always put into the second slot from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important because without that, a cyclical autocrafter would just, the moment you turn it on, you'll just get garbage in the first slot of every table. And then it won't actually start crafting properly until the next 9 tables get pushed through the chain. So you can see through this elevator, we're making pistons.
Pistons incoming. Alright, there's also the machinery access. Let's try to check that out. So, I think this is bomb proof here. Don't have to worry, right?
Yeah, it's spawn proof.
So yeah, this is the machine here. It's kind of hard to see. The rotating crafting tables.
So this has just about everything in it that you possibly need. So it's got its own chunk loader, so you can leave the machine running as long as the player's on the server.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a shulker box stacker, so that empty boxes from the input get stacked up and sent back to the top and collected by hoppers. So you can retrieve the stacks of empty boxes. And it's got 16 double speed precision loaders. And what that means is that you can craft up to 32 times hopper speed worth of items. So that is, I believe, 72,000 items per hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is crazy. Let's try actually to look inside of those crafting tables. No, they're just too fast. I can't really observe it.
At full, so if you're crafting something like iron bars, or glass pane, which yields 16 items per operation,
Oh yeah,
you'll
that's
be
also
crafting
technical.
items at 288,000 items per hour. So that's almost a third of a million items per hour that this can go up to.
Alright, so let's follow the pistons. They are put into, yeah, they're collected by the hoppers here, using the hopper minecarts, and then put into a shulker box. Okay, let's see if we can find it. It should be here. Yeah, so this is already half full. Gonna get our box of pistons soon. Okay,
There it goes.
we're done. Here's the box of pistons. Sweet. Alright, then thanks a lot Cubic for showing this off. And
No worries.
I think Cubic will also maybe show us around in the next couple of episodes. Couple of projects. There's actually a lot of stuff to show on the server. Okay, thanks. That's it for this episode from our Skyblock world. In the next one, we're gonna show off the dirt farm that the community has built, and we can also build the honey farm finally. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!